Conversations with the one and only J Man. Your morning will never be the same. Here we go.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to Coffee and Conversation with your boy J-Mad on Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the other platforms that we're on, even Alexa. That's right, Alexa can make it do what it do. I hope you all had a great weekend and that your week has started off great. I went to a meeting of sorts yesterday, a gathering yesterday, and we had a really, really great time last night. Came across some sports fanatics, and one of the legendary football players was in the house last night. We had a really, really great time last night. So the week for me has started off great. I hope the same is going for you. Good morning to everyone that is listening, that is not in the chat room. Good morning to you. I appreciate you all being on. I really, really do. To the ones that's not in the chat room and to the ones that are in the chat rooms, do me a favor. Make sure you're liking the show. Make sure you're liking the show and sharing it. If it has been beneficial to you, please make sure you like all of the shows, share the shows as much as you can, especially if you're on social media. Make sure you do that for me. It'll help my platform so much. I do appreciate it. Good morning to those that's in the chat room. Let me run over here and check. Good morning, Yogi. Thank you so much for being on. I appreciate you so much. Nurse Rachel, good morning to you and to all of my other trainers out there at Emory Winship Cancer Center. Good morning to you. That's my trainers are my doctors, my nurses, my psychologists, psychiatrists, receptionists, all of those people that take care of my warriors out there. Thank y'all so much for being faithful to your job and doing your job well. Your success is helping others succeed. Your success at your job is helping others succeed. I appreciate that. And to my Winship warriors, what's good with y'all? Y'all are out there looking good. You're giving cancer hell. Y'all do what you need to do. Stay focused. Stay determined. And remember, you got this. Remember to smile at somebody today. When you're going through whatever you're going through, and when you don't want to smile anyway. I guarantee you it'll bring you some good, positive energy. So if you're sitting around moping and thinking down and life, it is what it is, and you all are going through it, and you all just don't feel like being there, just smile for me one time. And it will, I promise you, things will get better. I want to have a conversation that I had yesterday at church service. I'm only going to talk about a portion of it. And we'll start the conversation off by going this way. So many times, I know I do it all the time on the show, and you can hear other motivational speakers. They often suggest that you do this. Look in the mirror. Look in the mirror. But we never define what you are looking for. What are you looking for in the mirror? I often tell people to look at yourself square in the eyes. One technique I tell them to do is to look in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, and tell yourself that you love you. That's one of the things that I often do. I often tell people that the mirror is not designed to tell you how good or to show you how good looking you are. The mirror is not designed for that. The mirror is actually designed to show you what's out of place, or if anything is out of place. So when you're looking in the mirror and you get yourself all dolled up and ready to go, you get your swag on, brothers, and you're ready to go, and you look in the mirror, and the only thing you see in the mirror is what's good, oftentimes you will miss what is out of place. A mirror is really designed for you to see how other people see you. The mirror is designed for you to see how other people see you. And a lot of times we want people to look at us a certain way, in a certain manner, without understanding that most people that we deal with, most people that we're dealing with in life are looking for what's out of place on you. When a hair is out of place, when this doesn't look good on you, when that doesn't look good on you, or when your makeup is not done right, or if your hair is not done right, or if your clothes is wrinkled. If you ever approach, or when we approach the mirror looking at it, man, I look good. Oh, look at this swag I got on today. And you have on a wrinkled shirt, and you overlook the wrinkled shirt. What most people would do is not talk about how good looking you are. They would talk about how wrinkled your shirt was. So understanding what the mirror is for is important to our daily walk. It's important to the fact that we have to say, you know what? I'm going to look in the mirror and I'm going to find out what's wrong instead of what's right. What's out of place instead of what's right. Yesterday or Sunday, I talked through my church, at my church, about filling in the gap. One of my points was filling in the gap. And that's understanding when they were building the wall. They said the enemy was mad because they heard that they had built the wall, or the wall was being successfully built, and that they were filling in the gaps. What that suggested to me is that the enemy knew exactly where their weaknesses were in that fence, in that gate, in that wall. They knew where all the gaps were in the wall. And so what they decided to do when they started building the gate back, the wall back, the scripture also said that they also filled in the gaps. They came to a realization that, wait a minute, this was an issue. That was a problem. In the past, before the wall came down, that was an issue. That was a vulnerable spot. If we're going to be honest with ourselves, when we look in the mirror, we're going to have to find what we call, or what I am calling, the gaps in our lives. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. She's not perfect. He's not perfect. None of us are perfect in any shape, form, or fashion. And if we are going to get better because we're not perfect, we're going to have to find out where our gaps are. I hate to suggest this, and I know many of us hate to admit it, but there are some things in our lives that's just not right. It's not fixed. It's not even being worked on. Because the truth be told, many a times our gaps are things that we actually love to do. Things that I need to be working on are things, eating healthier. You know, I have high blood pressure. I have hypertension, and I have to take my medicine and things like that. But there are also some foods that I don't need to eat. I don't need to eat, but guess what? I love it. Knowing that I shouldn't eat it, I eat it anyway. That is a gap. Because physically, I would be better if I eat better. Some of us, it's a relationship thing. Some of us, it's a career thing. Some of us, it's a organization, people you're connected to thing. If we learn how to first of all, we're going to have to find our gaps, because truth be told, the gaps in our lives is really not noticeable. It's not noticeable to us because it's convenience for us. I can only imagine that the reason why certain gaps were in the fence in the first place is because it allowed convenience. It allows convenience. Before they tore down the wall, it was being found. It was easier, but the enemy looked at it as, oh, that's a weak spot for them. That's a weak spot for them. And so the wall ended up being destroyed. But now that they're building the wall back, it said that they heard that they was building up the wall, but they were also filling in the gaps. My challenge to you all today is real simple. Find out where your gaps are. Find out what you need to work on. No one can really tell you what you need to work on. People may see certain things about you, but you know the reason. See, the gap and the reason for the gap are two different things. People may see you had on a wrinkled shirt, and they're picking at you because they're coming at you because you had on a wrinkled shirt, without understanding you don't have an iron at home. You don't have so the way you fix it from your end is find out why I have that wrinkled shirt, why I do this, why I do that. There's a new way of dieting that's out, and I've always trained this way. I didn't know it was a thing. I thought everybody knew this. Years ago, when I first got out of the military, I was I was a personal trainer to people, believe it or not. I don't do anything now. But I used to be a personal trainer when I first got out at this apartment complex. And people hired me to come and work out with them and show them what to do and run with them and give them the military way of doing things. And one of the things that I suggested to the people about losing weight is to understand that that's a psychological change you're going to have to make. That's a psychological. You're going to have to change your mentality in dieting. If you want to diet, you have to change your mentality. You don't necessarily have to give up all those food. It's about not eating till the food is gone. You eat it till the hunger is gone. So those were things that it was all about how the reasons why you were doing what you were doing. So now they have this exercise, this new dieting thing where they research with you. They ask you, they get a psychologist or a psychiatrist, and they really talk to you and they figure out why are your eating habits the way that it is. And they help you change the mentality behind eating. It's the same with life and getting better in life. There are things that we do in life because we saw mama do it. We saw daddy. Well, that's what I'm on. My community is always like this. I grew up this way. My family always did this. And so when we learn, oh, I'm doing this in my life and I'm only doing it because that's the way I've always done it. Or I went through this issue in life, so I protect myself by doing this. Why are you doing the things that you do? Why are you afraid of there are several things that I'm dealing with personally, and learning how to say, okay, if I have commitment issues, where did I pick that up? Why did I get that? Because if I still have those issues, it simply means I didn't deal with it. When you're filling in the gaps in your life, you are admitting that that's a problem and that you are going to deal with it. No matter how many times life tear down your wall, because it's going to happen several times in life. The older you get, the less it happens. But in life, you're gonna experience a lot of demolished walls. And when you begin to rebuild, my conversation with you all this morning is simple. Address the issue. Address your issues. Address your problems. Don't rebuild the wall on unidentified issues, unidentified gaps. And you have to be honest with yourself. Let's just break it down. To the smallest denominator. Yes, people have done things to you. Yes, you went through or are going through things outside of your control. However, there are some things that you could have done better before you got in that situation. And is this connected to all situations? No, it's not. That statement is not connected to all situations. But in it, you will. No matter what situation you go through, you're going to find something inside of you that can be better. Maybe that not could have been done better, but it will make you better. It will make you stronger. Sometimes you have to go back and admit, I'm like this because my parents was like this. There's a story of a lady. She would cook the Thanksgiving ham. She would cook the Thanksgiving ham or the Christmas ham. And during those holidays, she would cut the ham in half and put it into two separate pans. And so finally, one day her mom asked, "Girl, why are you always cutting the ham in half?" And the little girl was grown now with a family. And she said, "Well, Mom, that's what you used to do. You used to cut the ham in half." She said, "Babe, I used to cut the ham in half because we didn't have a stove big enough to fit the entire ham." For years, this young lady would go through cooking ham, cutting it in half because it was something that her mom did. We have to learn, even when it comes to church. There are certain things that we do in church that you saying, why do we do this? And no one has an answer to why we do this other than it's tradition. In life, we can make gaps our traditions. Oh, I do it this way because that's the way it's always been. That's the way I've always been. Not understanding that you picked it up from somewhere. You was taught it from somewhere. But now it's a time, well, I need to be better. If my mom and my dad did it this way, if this happened, I need to be better than that. I should be growing constantly. And it goes by first looking in the mirror, finding out where my weaknesses are, where my issues are in my life, and how can I improve on it. Because when I walk away from the mirror, I want to make sure not only do I look good, but I also took care of the things that was out of place. The things that was not made right. I didn't put up the makeup right. I had a hair out of place, or I didn't shave correctly, or I missed the spot when I was shaving, or my collar was turned up. Looking in the mirror, most important value is you seeing yourself, not looking at yourself. That's a difference. Seeing yourself and looking at yourself, because when you look at yourself and mentally, you're thinking, "Oh man, I'm," because most of us, we're already conceited about ourselves, and so when we look in the mirror, we look to see how good we are, instead of looking in the mirror to see what's wrong, what's out of place, where can I improve. Always take time, ladies and gentlemen, to look at yourself and see yourself on how you can be better. As you rebuild your life, as you rebuild your relationships, whether it's your job relationship, your personal relationship, your love relationship, as you begin to rebuild life, rebuild your wall, make sure you take time out to look in the mirror to see what's wrong, to see what is out of place, to see where I can improve. Every time you walk away from that mirror, you should say, yeah, I took care of everything. I took care of everything. That's my conversation with you all this morning. I hope that conversation helped you all rebuild your wall and have a better life, have a better day, be a better person, be more effective to the people around you and who you are connected to. Make sure you fill in your gaps. I will see you all Thursday. Be good and be great. And remember, you got this. All right. Bye.